Hello there, Master Hellish here, and welcome back to NIMBY Rails, where we are going to be cracking on with our Let's Play. This is now, I think, episode 4, and what I've done since last time is a couple of things. Firstly, I've let the game run forward, and now, once again, it's the same time in day as when this video was released. Hey, look, Wednesday the 3rd of February at 4 o'clock. Now, if you've entered the competition from episode 1 to win one of 4 copies of this game, I will be drawing that tomorrow and announcing it in episode 6, at the beginning of episode 6. So, if you're watching this now on the day of release, you have until at least the end of today to be able to get your entry in, and the instructions are on the first episode. Now, what else is going on? I redid this junction here. Okay, I redid this little junction. The reason is that I made it all too squished close together, and it was almost acting like one junction, and the trains weren't very happy. They kept clogging up, and I almost got a deadlock situation. So what I've done here is I've just made the triangle bigger, and now it's spaced out, it's so much better. And also I put that line up to play area back to being a separate line. I know I did incorporate it so that it would be the same as this other line, but I think I've learned some lessons from working with the trams in Nottingham. And what I'd like to do today is apply a new system to Derby, and hopefully that will improve our money, our income, and all that sort of thing. But it'd be nice to know that we're learning and doing better, and I've learned some things since then, and I've figured some things out. For example, this big long tram line is not great. It's not good. Having a big long tram line doesn't seem to be very good. A lot of people want to go to and from this station, and that just causes transfers and backlogs all the way around here. If somebody wants to go to play area down here, they have to transfer at Nottingham, and Nottingham keeps filling up. We can only get 800 passengers in there at the moment. Yeah, I could make the station bigger by adding more platforms, but yeah, well, there's a lot I've learned, and we're going to try and just kind of do things best from the very beginning. Now, we've got 137 million in the bank, and if we have a look at the finances, now today we're partway through a day, so we'll ignore today and look at yesterday and Monday. So on Monday, we made just about 9 million in fares, and our running costs were about $1/3 So that's a good profit. Yes, I did buy a couple of new trains. What I did is I noticed that the tram services running in Nottingham just needed a couple more trams putting on. And here on Tuesday, we didn't need any new trams. We took about 8 million in fares, and overall our profit was 7.8 million. So each day we are making a nice little profit, but I'd like to be able to make more, much more. So the plan that I've got at the moment is to go to Derby, add a tram service, maybe go to Lincoln and add a small tram service. I don't think Newark is worth it because the population density is a little bit too spread out. I don't think there's enough people in Newark really. But once we get a main line coming through Newark, which I think we'll do sometime soon if we continue the series, then Newark's going to become an important place. So we'll see how that goes. And then, of course, Nottingham needs fixing because this tram network it's okay. It makes money, I think. If we have a look at the individual line money, most of our money is, well, actually, that's Wednesday. Let's go back to Tuesday. See, look, a lot of our money is coming from line 1, our main line for Tuesday. Now, we do get a good chunk of money from our other line, 2 million from the trams. And this little tram line on its own makes 1.3 million. So at first, I thought trams would just be a good thing to feed onto our main line, and whilst that is true, they're actually making some good money themselves. And I think that's mainly due to the tweaking that I've done last episode and since last time by increasing the frequency of the stops. And so here we've got the minute interval that they're waiting before they go anywhere else, and the waiting time at the station at the minute is, I think, 30 seconds. I think we could reduce that. There's no need for a tram to wait 30 seconds. But you notice the ticket price. Look at this ticket price here. Price per kilometre, 3.1. On our main line, we're only charging people 1.4 per kilometre, and on the green line, 1.2. But this yellow line, 3.1. And you know why? I don't, but I've got a theory. I think it's because it's a direct service to a big station which has, for the length of track, a good frequency, a high frequency of trains coming in very often. You can see here the trams are leaving every 1 minute 30 seconds at a maximum. That's from play area down to Nottingham. And I just slowly kept increasing that price until they started complaining. And you know what? If we look at the accounting, you can see that for Tuesday, for that price, no refunds at all. No people refused their fares. Everybody paid. So whilst Nottingham isn't perfect, and I've learnt a lot of things, it's doing okay. Let's see if we can do even better in Derby. Now, before I start that, thank you very much for all your comments on the series. There's been an absolutely fantastic response to this series. If I thought you guys loved bringing Overcrowd in for a channel takeover, you guys are really like this. And one of the main comments I'm getting at the moment is that I'm not putting my trains in a depot at night time. And I thought to myself, yeah, I know, I'm not doing that, maybe I should. And one of the things I checked between now and last episode is how much money my trains lost before about 4 or 5 in the morning, maybe before 6 o'clock, from midnight to 6. There's a kind of a guideline to work out how much money I was losing. And I wasn't. We're actually making money. There's next to no passengers in the middle of the night time, but there's just enough to actually turn a profit. So putting them in the depot would actually mean less money at the moment with the way that things are. I think there's some tweaks and balances coming to the game that the developer's been putting in and getting ready to push out to the main version. And we'll see how that affects things and what's going on. But yes, let's crack on. So this is Derby, and this has a brilliant population density compared to places like Newark and Lincoln. If you look at Lincoln, there is a couple of places where it's quite dense, but there's not a lot. There's no big hot spots. Newark is not very good. And if you're wondering how the game works out this population density, and I was wondering this, I've heard, and this is unconfirmed, I've heard it's to do with the number of road junctions. So if we look in an area where there's not very high population density, so somewhere like down here, there's a few roads round here, but they're big and looping, and there's a few junctions. If we look somewhere where there's high density, like down here, you can see that these roads are all short, wiggly, and have lots of little junctions. Look at all these little junctions down here. I think that's what drives the population density. How many junctions there are. To be honest, I think it's a good way of doing it. Now in Derby, we have a few patches of relatively high density population. Now I've already gone through Derby with the station and tweaked and stations, and I've put them down, taken them up, put them down to decide where I want them, because I didn't want to be sat here fiddling around with it forever, and I know where I'm going to do it. So we're going to have one station over here in MacLeod, and then we're going to connect it up to the main station here. I think what we'll do is we'll upgrade the main station first. Now before I do the tram stops, I want to put another standard station set of tracks in case we end up connecting this to another line going somewhere else. I think there's an opportunity for a line to come down to the south here. I'm not sure. Or maybe even follow this one and split off. So we're going to put one next to it. Okay, so I'm going to just pop one in like that, and we'll use the move tool to just get it so that it looks nice and neat. Now, if you put them close enough, they become one station, and if you don't put them close enough, then they don't. Simple as that. So I'm just going to try and get that lined up. Right, I think we're on one of... No, not quite the closest soon. Go on then, but we're going to try and get it pixel perfect. Why not? There we go, that looks good. And then down this end. Now, I thought that I don't know what the length of this station is, but whatever the length of the station is, I'm matching it. And let's just get that there. There we go, that looks good. Now, that looks like, yeah, it's the same station. Brilliant. Now, I've been told that this length value here of 305 is the length from the middle to the edge of the station, so the station's actually double that length. That doesn't sound right to me. I mean, it could be because you've got these nodes here, and they've got two different IDs. This is 93200 and that's 93100, which makes me think that maybe that is correct, but it'd be nice to get some confirmation from somebody who knows for sure. We've got enough speculation. If you know for sure, then let us know. So now we've got an extra set of tracks in. It's done it as a separate station. I didn't do it close enough. Right, if I move it closer, is it going to merge? Yes, okay. So we need it a little bit closer than what I did it. Oh dear. There we go. Let's just move that a little bit closer. Perfect. Okay. No, that's no good. That's no good. Let's just do it so those orange bits just touch. This is probably the most fiddliest thing we're going to do this episode. There we go. Okay, that's going to look good. Now we'll put the tram stations on. And what we'll do is we'll just put them at the back here. Ooh. Didn't mean to do that. We'll put them on the back here, so we'll plop one down and then we'll use the moving tool. So we'll just bring this in so that pretty much lines up, and then we'll make it either 100 meters or 200 meters depending on how this length thing works that we've just talked about. So there's 100, and I think I've accidentally made one of these a tram stop. Oh my goodness, right. This one, it's become two stations again. What's going on? Why did that turn to a tram stop? Okay. It's in. Yes? No? Yes. Okay, so that train station's in and it's one station. Sorry about that, folks. I have no idea what's going on. So then, new station here. Yes, okay, that works. Let's bring it in so that it's pretty close. And we want to get the right length, going for 100. So even if the station is 200 long, that's fine. I'm looking for consistency more than anything else. There we go. Okay, so that's the tram on that side. Now for this, we're going to have a tram on both sides. So I'm going to try and get this relatively even. Oh! And we don't want it to be a separate station. Now the good news for doing all this extra station stuff is it's going to increase the capacity of our station. I'll show you what I mean in a minute. So let's see. Oh, that is 100. And it looks straight. Fantastic. Look at that. So we've spent 13 million. We haven't done anything yet. But if we go to over to Lincoln, for example, Lincoln is just a single station, and if we look at its information, can I look at its information? There we go. You can see that you can get a maximum of 200 passengers on the station. Station length doesn't have anything to do with it. I think it should. I think it should be a combination of number of platforms and station length. But it's just number of platforms. So down here at Nottingham, we've got 4 platforms because we've got the tram station built in, and that's allowing us 800. Now, I don't know whether we'll have Derby's new figure yet because we haven't confirmed the blueprints. No, it's still 200. But if we now confirm the blueprints, just make sure I'm happy with them. Yep, that'll do. Build. Now we look at Derby. You can see it's allowed up to 3,200 passengers. That's really good. Okay, so we've got the tracks in at Derby. Let's get these stations, the satellite stations in. Are we going to call them satellite stations? I don't know. So, what I'll do is we'll just do some moving around. Just look at that number to get the best figure. Yeah, it's roughly around here. In fact, I think I've got it almost in the most perfect place. So we're going to go from MacLeod, we're going to come up through Mackleworth Estate, and then we'll come into one of the tram stations. So Mackleworth Estate, and if you're wondering why I'm looking up, I took a screenshot after I was messing around working out where I wanted the stations. So I'm looking up there to my note, and what I'm going to do is make sure that the station orientation is going to facilitate a nice big sweep rounding in. So we kind of want to be at that angle from my perspective. So I don't know what the best is around here. It looks like the best we can get is 3007. Is that up there or down here? So we need to come to the right a little bit, I think. So let's just do some adjustments on this one, and it wants to be a little bit more kind of in this orientation. So 3007 apparently is what we could get there. There's 6 if we move it up here a little bit. Yeah, I think that's probably the best. Okay, so let's get that the right length. We've lost a little bit of the catchment there, so let's bring it this way. And let's just check the orientation. So we're going up, in, and round. Yep, cool. Right, well, there we go. I've put 2 of the stations in. What I'm going to do now is I'll put the other ones in, and I'll tell you how I'm going to connect it up and why I'm going to connect it up in the way that I'm going to connect it up. So I'm really sorry about the sound quality for the first half of this episode. Something on my computer changed the mic level of my microphone, and I had to compensate. So hopefully that's not going to be too bad, but sorry about that. I need some way to flag up when something on my computer's doing it. Some application is taking over my microphone and it's adjusting the sound levels right down, and it's happened a few times. But never mind, let's crack on. You can hear me properly now, and hopefully the first part of the episode wasn't too bad. So here we go. I've got 6 satellite stations in, and we're going to connect them up in a special way. The way we're going to do it is so that from any one of these stations, you are not more than 3 stops away from any other one. Okay, so we're going to have almost 4 separate lines going into Derby. So we're going to go from, let's say, for example, from over here. You can't see my mouse cursor very well, can you? So we're going to go from over here to this one and to the middle, and then we're going to go from over here to this one to the middle, and then this one, middle, and the same here up here. But we're going to connect them at different ends of the tram stop and then have a line that goes all the way through. So we're actually going to only be using 2 lines, but from anywhere within the spider network, you can get to anywhere else in 3 or less stops. And I think that's going to be a massive improvement. So, efficiencies in algorithms of trackness, yes. Now, what we're going to do is these ones from here, we should be able to come out and then just connect straight up to there. Now, you can't connect straight to station, but we can go from station to middle like that. And I don't expect us to need any junctions or anything, so I think... Oh, it doesn't like that. Why does it not like that? Is it too bendy or something? Something's happening up here. There's water. Ah, I didn't see that water. Okay. Might move that station a little bit just to get around that bit of water. Put it here instead. Let's do that. Move the station to there. It's going to be fine and the catchment's hardly going to change, yeah. Okay. Come on. 100. There we go, 100. And then that... Oh, doesn't want to connect. Oh, alright, we'll delete it then. And put a new piece in. Plop. Perfect. And then this one, looks like there's a couple little tiny bits of water in between. We're going to come out to the right a little bit because we've got quite a sweeping bend to do for this next part, like that. But, you know, we should be able to have all our vehicles go at 45 along there. And then this one up here, similar sort of situation. We've got a bit of a bend coming in. Ooh. That's a bit... No. Let's do... that. Try and keep it as straight as possible and then just bend in. Yep, that works, and we still get to go 45. Now we're going to have to connect these up to Derby itself. So this one is going to come in on the north side. And we've got some water here to deal with again. I don't know whether we're going to bridge over it or what we're going to do. Probably just sneak past it here. And then from this platform, can I just connect it straight up? Yes, yes I can. And from here, we're going to bend right round into this one. So let's bring it up to here and then... Nope, that's the wrong platform. Let's come from the correct platform. That's a nice big long sweeping bend, and we still get to go 45. Brilliant. And then this one is going to be a little bit more difficult to do, I think, because we want to keep a nice space here away from the main line to give ourselves room to build on that main line if we need to. Because if I connect that up straight away there, look, it bends in towards the main line, and we don't want that. So we're going to start with a gentle bend there and then put it in. Last one now. This is going to be the worst one because we're going to have to come right round, and we've got water to miss. And we're not going to be able to do it without a bridge. Oh well, never mind. We'll go as close as we can and to this water without actually touching that second bit. And it looks like our speed is still good. So we can go to there. Then we can do our little bridge over. Is that relatively straight? Yeah, it's got a slight bend in it, but that's okay. No, it isn't. No, it isn't okay. We don't want a slight bend in there. That's better. That's better. It's probably like 1 or 2 pixels, but never mind. And then a new section of track from here to there. Okay, I think we've managed to do this without hitting too much water, and it's nice and neat. And it's not too bad in terms of bends and corners. The routes seem to be quite efficient. 20 million, brilliant, build it. Yeah, look at that. That's the network I wanted round here. Right, we've got 100 million left, and then we're pretty much broke. But there's some good news. We can probably take out a loan. So if we go to info, you see, look, loan one of 3. We've already got a loan, and it's costing us, is that 18 million per month? Wow. But that's fine. We make that in a couple of days. We can have a new loan, which we'll probably look at next time if we need to. But for now, let's crack back on with actually sorting some trains out. And by trains, I mean trams. So we're going to use the filters here, and we're going to... we need to do the line first before we put anything on it. So this is going to be 2 new lines, okay? So we're going to have a brand new line. And for that line, we're going to look at the stops, and we're going to add new stops, and we're going to start over here, Mickleover Derby, and then we're going to do a stop at a Mackworth. Is that Mackworth? Well, it's near Mackworth Estate. Then we're going to come through Derby, exit H, and then St Giles School, terminating at Oakwood, and then returning St Giles School, Derby, Prince Charles Avenue Post Office, brilliant name, and then it'll go back and start at the beginning of the loop again. Well, there we go. We're going to just put a T on the end of the name of this line because it's a tram line. We'll give it a green colour. I think what we'll do is we'll stick to trams being green and yellow in a city. And then what we'll do is then we'll use the other colours for other sorts of main lines so that we can define the different ones within a city. So you can see the red one coming in, you can see the green one. While we're in here, let's add the other line. The other line is defaulted to yellow, that's cool. So we're going to come out of this station here, through that one, loop round, come out on platform F, then we've got platform B round here and down to another post office. It really likes the post offices, doesn't it? Or have I just been lucky to hit all the post offices? And finally, there we go, I'm back to the beginning. Now there's going to be some tweaking that I need to do in terms of pricing and timings and all that sort of thing. But what we're going to do is we're going to start with a base ticket price of 1. Now the green line in Nottingham has a per kilometre of 1.2, and I don't think that's a particularly good line. And they seem to pay more for better lines. So we're going to start with a 1.2 on these lines, and we may be able to increase it. Now, one of the things I've got to be careful of is the fact that whilst we're doing this, we're essentially being able to pump more people that are available at Derby that will want to travel out to Nottingham and Lincoln. So we might have to add more trains and more frequency on our main line. We haven't really got the money to do that, but let's spend some money on some trains. Right. First up, trains. We want a city tram. And we've got 100 million, so if we spend about 50 on each potentially, keep it nice and even, we're going to have maximum car length, because I noticed that I did some shorter trams just because I thought they wouldn't be necessary in Nottingham, but at busy hours of the day it really is needed. So we've got that, and they're 11 million each, so if I get 4, that's probably not going to be enough. But that's all we can really afford at the moment. So we could do that, and let's see, where's my mouse cursor? There it is. That's one of the things I think this game needs, is either a dedicated or a better mouse cursor, because I think it uses the Windows mouse cursor and it just kind of blends in with much of the map, especially if you're playing in 4K like I am. The interface size changes the interface, which is brilliant, but it doesn't change the size of the mouse, and I very often lose the mouse. Right, so what's this? Train bill. City tram times 2, city tram times 5. What? Why 5? Is that for the extra cars? Probably. Okay, let's purchase them. So there we go. We're just going to filter this for all lines, only alert warnings, so it shows us the trains that haven't got anything. And again, we're just going to put them on the full job 8. Now, which line's which? I don't know which line's which, what's going on. We need a way to actually denote these lines. So let's call it Derby North, Tram North, and Derby Tram South, shall we? What's going on? My mouse cursor's going a bit weird. We're actually going to start naming things now, because it's there's too many things in here. So apparently this, you see, it does actually tell you over there in the line list of what it is. It says Derby, and it tells you the kind of starting station, I think. That's kind of north. It's more north than the other one. Here we go. Oops, typo. Tram South. Now the north one isn't completely north, it's more like northwest, and this is south-south. The north and south, keep it simple. And then prices are done, names are done. Let's get these trains on the right line. So you, Derby Tram North, Derby Tram North, Derby Tram North, and finally Derby Tram North. And we're going to let them start at the default station. Then we're going to buy some more. So we're going to buy 4 more. Yep, they all look good to me. Purchase them, and we're going to set them to Derby Tram South. And hopefully these 2 lines are going to make us an absolute fortune. Maybe. We'll see. There we are. Derby Tram South. Fantastic. And there we go. Now, one of the things we need to do is tram spacing. So if we go lines and we look at the minimum interval, we can go set minimal interval. So the minimum interval for these tram services, we're going to say we want them to be at least 10 minutes apart at all of these stops.
The same for this one. There we go. Now the reason for that is that that's the good way to space these things out, and I think we're running in real time at the moment. So at the moment we've got 2 trams in the station. It looks like the second tram's coming in. Now I can't remember how long these trams are. Have we got something that can tell us how long this tram is? Speed, tram empty. Max speed, passengers, cars. Here we go, full length, 45. So one of these trams is 45 in length. So if we look at the tram in the station and say, well, if that's 45, that looks like about a quarter of the station. 45, about a quarter of 200. I think these stations might be 200 long in total. Anyway, they're all on their way. These trams are now waiting, and they're going to spread out, and what we'll do is a little bit of fast forwarding. So here we go. Now as we go along and as these trams move along the line, they'll spread out a little bit better. There we go. Let's just get our screen so we can actually see all 6 satellite stations. Now because you can get more than one tram in a platform, it might be that they don't spread out properly to begin with, but they will do. And it looks like we're doing okay. So the first tram is on its way back, and the second tram is halfway on its journey. So we do need more trams, but we have ran out of money. So we'll see how that goes. Now, one of the ways we can see how the whole thing is going, I've lost my mouse cursor again, there it is that if we inquire at Derby what the situation is, we can see that we've got, oh my goodness, many passengers. Oh my goodness, look at that. 1,600 passengers at the station. That is a little bit ridiculous. Let's just move everything over to the left so we can see a little bit better. And yeah, we've got a lot. Wow, there's nearly 2,000 people. We definitely need more trams, but hopefully this is going to make us loads of money, because I feel like it's a really good design. I'm putting my money where my mouth is. We've put all of the rest of my money where my mouth is. And we're at 2,000 people at this station now. Now, how many people are at these stations? 200, it's maxed out. So these stations at the end here, they're all maxed out on people waiting. So that will get better once we add more trams. But now, bearing in mind, we started building this line at the beginning of the episode, and it's only really been running for a couple of hours since these trains were introduced. Let's have a look at the accounting. Okay, so on the accounting side of things, we've had quite a few refunds. Around, well, I say quite a few, it's around 10%. Which is quite high. I think we might need to drop the price until we get more trams on the service. Let's drop it to 1 and 1. So you pay a base price of 1 plus 1 on the kilometres. See, this one's better. Tram North, we've shifted more people, and we've got less people refusing the funds. So I don't know whether, because I think Tram North is a shorter route and they're getting trams more regular. It's not shorter by a massive amount, but if we look at this, can I highlight lines? Well, we have to actually go to the line screen. But you can see that this yellow one is a little bit longer than the green one. But money's definitely going up quite nicely now. And presumably there's a lot of people at Derby waiting for, like, Lincoln and Nottingham. What's Nottingham Central called? Oh my goodness, look at this. Let's make it big. There we go. No, not really seeing people for Nottingham. Nottingham Station is just called Nottingham. Oh, there we go. We've got one person for Lincoln, a couple for Nottingham. Maybe it will make us some good money by the end of the day. I don't know. Our money is definitely going up quite nicely. When we finished making this tram network, we had about 10 million in the bank. That's now at 13 million. So our money is going up nicely. Let's look at our accounting. Yeah, money is going up nicely. Right then, we're going to leave it there for now. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. This has been a little bit technical in some ways, but we've had some building and we've got some trams down, and I really do like the network that's going on here. So what I'll do between now and next time is we'll save a little bit of money, we'll throw a few more trams on the track, and we'll see how much it makes over the course of maybe Thursday or Friday. Probably Friday. See how much money we can make on Friday. But that's going to be all for now. Leave all your thoughts, ideas and questions down in the comments section, and I will see you all soon. Take care, and for now, goodbye.